a stay-at-home dad, watching Disney movies he never had. His daughter digs through all the VHS, crushing the classics in a princess dress. Informed like Scuttle, Kurt's got your ticket, making it real like Jiminy Cricket. Most are off the Captain Hook, but if the Tweedledum, he'll be taking more shots than Bambi's mom. Leaves him raised like Simba, or cracked like the beach dishes. He'll show you a whole new world, you won't need 3 wishes. Stay at home, Disney Dad.
Goodness. We dig to the bottom, and I mean the absolute bottom of the bin of VHS this week for this gem. Look at this. What are we getting ourselves into? Not overthinking it. Just press and play. We start with a farmer's wife chatting with the farmer's daughter as the farmer tries fixing his tractor and says if it doesn't rain in 2 to 3 weeks, it's all over. We get like Oompa Loompa music, and whatever film stock this was shot on, it's really off-putting. It doesn't look normal. It's not more normal movie stock. It's this weird sharp picture. Okay, an officer pulls over Mr. Potter. The cop is writing him a ticket. A little girl named Willow sneaks up to like the shotgun side and looks in. And Harvey Potter does some sorcery. He makes a pecan pie. He takes a pecan and turns it into a pecan pie, which he gives to the cop. And before the cop can give him a ticket, he drives away. Willow has a couple friends, and they follow this wizard farmer, even though they don't believe her, because no one can make a pecan pie out of thin air. Wait, a wizard called Harvey Potter? Someone screwed someone. Harvey Potter the wizard. Harvey Potter the wizard is looking at the soil in his new property he bought, and some crazy old coot named Weasel comes up to Harvey and he's like, turn around and get out of here! There's been a drought and nothing will ever grow here! Willow throws a water balloon at Weasel but hits Harvey, who laughs at her. Willow runs home and she's dressed like Freddy Krueger, and her mom sounds identical to the voice of the mom from Frosty Returns. Sure, there's a magic pecan farmer that moved in, but poor Charles is gonna need therapy. That night, her dad gets a phone call and someone narcs on Willow. They rat it out that she threw a water balloon, and dad scolds the daughter and says, you know water is low, so next time you're gonna throw one at Weasel, make sure it's filled with something other than water. He means piss. His daughter should in a water balloon and okay, it doesn't matter. Town hall meeting, we gotta tighten our belts even more and conserve more water, says the mayor. But then we have a bunch of clips of the townspeople not conserving water. They're making iced tea, they're washing their cars, they're having bubble baths. Willow and her friends spy on Harvey Potter as he plays with his dirt. He looks like the guy from Stranger Things, but not really. Farmer's mom is angry because farmer husband, they're bleeding money. He wants to give up the farm, but she won't let him. Harvey is putting up a fence, and next door Weasel Mayfield is getting steamed about it. The guy that runs the store is playing checkers with himself, and he gets mad when he loses. What is happening? Harvey Potter comes in and looks at this corn seed. He goes digging in a giant sack of corn, and after a while he pulls out one single seed of corn, listens to it, and says, I'll buy this one. And by now, everyone is watching this maniac. This lunatic, right? The kids are spying on him and his crop, and they fall off the fence, and there's an incorrect cut. And I'd love to know if this was a glitch on my VHS tape, if there was an actual edit mistake on the movie, like Willow lands, and then it kind of cuts to the same shot, the same framing, but it's not quite lined up. It's like she's here, then she's here. They tried to match it and couldn't quite do it. Harvey walks into the diner and all the locals are like, good luck with your crop because you can't use water. The girl working there gives him a free coffee and he asks for it to go. She puts a tinfoil lid on, like tries to MacGyver a lid. I don't know why that's important, but it's kind of funny. Corn is now growing in this field. And there's also balloons everywhere. Maybe just balloons are growing. I don't know what's happening. Willow holds her arms up and spins for some reason. If this wasn't a Disney movie, I would be expecting a really dark turn. Like, this movie is bizarre and feels vague and feels like it's setting you up for some, like, requiem for a dream ending. Like, this girl was in a car accident and this is all happening in your mind while she's in a coma. Okay, he wasn't growing corn. He is indeed growing balloons. Looks like a cornfield with balloons taped to them. Okay, he says he's not an alien. He didn't water them. but he grew them from that seed he listened to. He says everything starts as a seed. He says he started as a seed, and so did she. And I think he means sperm. Is that like the seed he's talking about? That's weird to tell a kid. She asks what he's doing with all those balloons, and he laughs and holds up a sign that says, "Balloons for sale." And he laughs harder and harder like a maniac. Again, this is gonna get dark, right? Willow runs home and tells her dad. He repeats everything back. He grew a balloon, and everyone in the diner points and laughs at this kid. Dad is a total condescending jerk to his daughter. Is like, tell him to bring his magic over to my crops. And she's like, you all suck, and you'll all be sorry tomorrow when it's a balloon sale day. It's the next day. He throws open his gate, and great shot of all these people coming into his garden, and it's full of balloons. But for real, it's like a wide shot from above with hundreds of people coming in. It pans over as they enter the crops to a field of balloons, and this was an expensive shot. This was an impressive shot. Today it would be all AI or CGI and no one would care, but it wasn't back then, and I care. Great shot. Dad has to eat as does everyone else in the town. The weird cop is like, "Hey, Mr. Potter, my wife liked that pecan pie, and if you could make another one, I'll bring it home, and she might do that thing I like where my dirty joke comes to a crashing halt when he tells everyone that the balloons are $10 each, and suddenly this guy is a heel. They're slowly coming around, and people are paying him $10 per balloon, and it goes great until Weasel tries to stop the party and lets one balloon go. The mayor says there's going to be a town meeting tomorrow about Potter's balloons. Okay, but Willow's Matilda. Just realized that. That night, Matilda's red balloon bounces off her head and she talks to it, and it seems to understand her. She's talking to a balloon. Weasel calls the FBI and he's like, "Dang nabbit, he's growing balloons." That's funny. The next day at town hall, there's a guest who's interested in purchasing all the land in this small town. I don't know why. There's a drought. Farmer's mom is like, "Balloons grew out of our drought land, so this place is magic. Don't anyone sell. Like, don't sell." This is like the second season of The Leftovers on HBO. She riles everyone up, and this is a sign not to sell to this guy. Harvey's now a celebrity, and all the town girls are throwing themselves at him. There's a few moments of Harvey that seem dark again, where he tells Willow to go home, and then he stares into the camera for a few seconds too long. I would like to see this guy as a full-on bad guy and stab the town in the back like the Simpsons monorail guy. Maybe that's what's gonna happen. Willow runs home and tells her dad that her balloon is alive. She's like, "It floats around and sleeps in my bed." And he's like, "I'm listening." The next day, Mom confronts Harvey and is like, "Are you telling my daughter her balloon is alive, you idiot?" And he's like, "Would you like some lemonade, miss?" And then he makes some magic lemonade. He's like, "Why don't you bring your husband Jake over next time?" She's like, "He's not much of a lemonade guy, more of a coffee guy." What is happening? This dialogue. Is she gonna bang the balloon guy? No, back at home, his wife is now on team Harvey Potter, so Farmer Jake storms over there to get to the bottom of it. Potter wins him over as well. Okay, now he's the lemonade guy. Is this city gonna end like Jim Jones? The stirret keeper wanted another bath, and the balloon tapped him on the hand, and then he felt better. The sound effects they used to make the rubbery sound of the balloon sounds like upset stomach. I don't like it. Weasel sneaks into the balloon patch at night and finds some seeds at the diner. Jake is like, "Has everyone thought about the investor's offer? Maybe we should sell." And the people are now kind of iffy because they think these balloons are magic because they're listening to his crazy wife about the crazy balloons, right? They're like, "Oh, the balloons are making me feel better." Weasel says he grew a new balloon and the townspeople come running to buy the new ones. Is this movie secretly about like drugs and addiction? At least you tried. The mayor is now giving a speech and gives Harvey a key to the town for all the happiness and hope he's giving these sad people. Pennywise's red balloon floats around the house and almost gets stuck in the fridge, but instead follows Jake outside. Oh no, it's gone. Matilda spies on Harv, and he's on the phone talking to someone about foreclosures and giant dumb hicks. They have no idea, so he is a bad guy. Weasel shows everyone a pot where he planted one of Potter's magic seeds and nothing happens. "He's a fake! Harvey Potter's a fake!" Everyone defends Potter, and Weasel's like, "Are any of us better off?" Good point. He's a con. Willow says she heard him talking to the bank about foreclosures. Now they form a mob because they think they're stabbing him in the back. They must kill the beast! Now everyone is mad, and they take their balloons and release them into the air out of, I don't know, whatever. She runs home and gets her balloon, but it's gone. The mob shows up at the balloon farm and they want their money back. And Potter's like, "Okay, we'll just bring back the balloons." Wah wah. Farmer Jake wants to sell the farm. And that's fine now. Farmer's wife is also Jackie from Roseanne, and I gotta Google if she's from Frosty Returns. There's some incorrect framing as Jake talks to his daughter. It's obvious these actors were not in the same room when they shot this back and forth. She's like, Dad, we all started out as seeds. Give your dad that talk. The cop pulls Potter over again and tells him to leave town. With Harvey Potter on the outs, the townspeople now turn on each other. I can't get over it. Harvey Potter, come on, man. Now the kids are waiting on his, or they're writing on his fence. They write cheater and they throw tomatoes at his truck. And Quasimodo's like, yeah, throw the tomatoes that way. That's awesome. Get that guy. Willow won't throw a tomato. She still believes. A family has their home foreclosed and they lost everything, and we get this amazing exchange.
Having us spend our savings on those balloons?
I wonder what she did with all those Academy Awards. Now she tells off Harvey, the mom does, and drives away. And he has this little, you don't know what you got till it's gone moment, where he says but he says that to no one. Now the farmer's wife, Casey's her name, wants to sell the farm after all. An offer is being drawn up. Matilda's like, Mom, remember what you said about the balloons growing here because it's special. That night, upset stomach balloon comes back inside a room. Her and her balloon sneak out into the shop, and we get some weird dark room shadow shots that look like the intro to Are You Afraid of the Dark? They steal a burlap sack of seeds, but there's only one seed in it, so she plants it, and she uses the rest of the town's remaining water, or she wants to grow the seed, but the water's locked, so we have a balloon stalk string picking the lock with special defects, and now she uses the rest of the town's water to water this whole crop of one seed. Harv watches from the window and thinks it's funny. He's gonna get blamed for this, stupid kid. Weird cop sees that someone has broken in and taken the corn and says, Then Weasel sees Harvey's crops being watered and says, oh no! And it's the next morning and there's no water left in the town. The guy comes to buy the land and he's like, all I need is a signature, and Willow yells, no! And she grabs the papers and her balloon and runs out the streets towards Potter's, and we get more special defects as the balloon gives her flight. And this is so bad. She's flying with the balloon sticking out sideways instead of like above her head, like just bad. It all comes to a head at Potter's field and everyone is there, and Potter is being arrested for draining the reservoir, and the FBI come crashing through the fence, and Willow takes the police tape and runs it across the field, snapping all the like string and freeing all the balloons at once, so they go up into the air, then all the balloons pop because they're full of water, it starts raining, and instead of taking this crazy moment of celebration, they play like ho-hum circus music. Now all the townspeople mob the guy that wanted to buy their land, and this is stupid. Weasel walks away, and his farm is dry as a bone. He's not getting any rain, and he's all sad. He says, maybe they believed him. Maybe I should have too. And Harv sees him, smiles at him, and gives it like a wink, and it rains on his crops too. Now he's going to leave. This is exactly the end of Frosty. He's going to move on to another town. Frosty, don't go. Another town needs my help. He needs my balloons. He used his balloon money to buy back the farm that was foreclosed. That's why he was talking on the phone to the bank about foreclosure. The big reveal at the end now is that every crop in town is a balloon crop. Who greenlit this?
That's what I think about.
What do you think?
What we have is a concern about Curtis Anderson.